Okay, so let's take a look at our charcoal casting. I've actually taken apart my charcoal block because it was cracked, and I figured it would be a little better to use rather than a nice new brand new one, just to flatten some sections of the ones that I had. Now, if you look in your booklet, you have a step-by-step for charcoal casting. So one of the things that we have to remember with the charcoal is that it's not going to compress easily. So probably one of the things is either using a freehand carving technique or to trace around an item. So I've actually picked an item that I'm going to trace around, just around the outside, and then I'll carve into my charcoal block. Now, if you see these, I've flattened them nicely. This one is the one I'm going to use first. So what I'll do is I'll come and I'll trace around a section. Okay, I'm going to come in here. Let me just get this set up. Now, you really want to be probably wearing your apron. It's very dirty, a very dirty process. And you know how that, you guys I think have already probably done some flattening of your charcoal block when you're doing your ingot casting. Anyways, it's super messy. So now I'm using something to trace around, but even freehand carving is fine. But just remember, you probably don't want to exceed 30 millimeters. So this one is probably about 20 something. And then you don't want to go more than about 2 millimeters deep. You'll end up with something super, super heavy then. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead here and just carve this out a little bit. So you can use different tools for carving. You could use like an X-Acto knife. You could, I don't know, use several different things. Okay, so there are numerous different ways that you can fix this up. Okay, I'm going to stop this for now. I'm going to clean up my item a little bit more, and then we'll actually go to melting our metal. So I have my frying pan all prepared to catch my extra metal. I've completed my design. I don't know if you can see, but I've added a couple little extra lines in here, used a ball burr to make some little, I don't know, balls for my kind of flower shape. So now I need to get all set up. I have, you guys are gonna, I don't know, maybe you'll laugh. I'm gonna use my lovely old kitchen hand protection here, my glove, because unfortunately I forgot my gloves from home or from school. Anyway, so we're going to use that for now, but I have the rest of my protection on. I'm wearing safety glasses, and I'm going to add some metal directly into the mold here. Now, you should have your mold sitting flat so that things won't roll out as the metal heats. So that's important. And you're going to need a super flat charcoal block as well. Now, you can do a calculation for this, but quite frankly, I like to just add my metal directly in and make sure that things will fit. Okay. Now I may be adding a little too much. It may spill out. We're gonna have we're gonna find out in a minute. Okay, so let's try this. I'm a little concerned it is gonna ball up and roll away, but let's see what happens. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting ready to solder here. I've double checked, kind of gone through the motions prior to starting to solder, so I've checked that my block is really flat, and I know I'm just going to come in here and press parallel, right? Don't want to do it at an angle or it might push the metal elsewhere. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this so you guys can see nicely. All right, so I think my flame is a little bit hot. Just adjust it. Okay, we don't need borax. Okay. Because the charcoal should take care of the oxidizing atmosphere. So let's come in here. I've got my glove on, my safety gloves on, an apron, and here's my beauty here. I'm all ready for this. Okay, let's go. I've got a number 5 torch tip on. Okay. So this you can do at your bench. That's fine. For the later when we're doing the cuttlefish, I'd like you to do it in the casting room because it's a bit stinky. It'll bother your classmates. Okay, so the metal's starting to sweat, what we call sweat. Okay, it's getting there, and you don't want to hesitate too long, but you need to make sure it's all molten. Let's see, hopefully. So it's pretty fast. I did kind of clunk that down pretty quickly, but you really do need to do it quickly because you want the molten metal to be able to squish it. Hold it for about 30 seconds. Okay, you probably don't need quite 30 seconds, but I'm gonna just keep holding here. Okay, now let's. So sorry there, we got cut off at a bad time, but I just wanted to show you now. So here's my item. That worked pretty well. I believe what I did is actually crush it on a bit of an angle rather than putting it down parallel. It went off. You can see it squished really nicely over here. Over here, it didn't go all the way, just a tiny bit off. That's okay. It's not terrible. Anyway, so I'm gonna take this out now. Okay, I believe it's cooled enough. Let's take a look at this item. No, don't touch it if it's hot. I'm gonna just grab my tweezers and we'll see how it turned out. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. So you can see a little bit of the texture in here. The rest of it isn't very textured. It depends. Sometimes you can get more texture than other times. You can try and heat it prior to just to bring out a little bit of the texture of the charcoal block prior to actually starting your casting. But here you are. Okay, so if you notice, it's not super thick. It's not more than 2 millimeters thick, which is what we're aiming for. We don't want to make it very thick. It'll end up too heavy, and yeah, we don't want it too heavy. Okay, that's it.